Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we are back in Cambodia and we are finally visiting one of the world's largest tourist attractions and landmarks, Angkor Wat. So our first stop is the ticket office. Now you can either buy your tickets online before you come or you can buy them at the ticket office. We opted to buy them at the ticket office because we read that online you have to upload a photo or something, and then I don't know, it all seemed a bit technical, so we decided we'd just come and get them on the day in the office. So hopefully there won't be too much for you. Okay, so we're inside the ticket office. There are quite a few people in here, but actually there's quite a lot of counters as well, and it looks like it's moving quite quickly, so hopefully we won't be too long. Well, that was really easy. We queued for less than 5 minutes. Now I've got our passes. They had to take a photo of us, but again, really quick and easy. And then they put the photo on the pass so that obviously when we're going around and they check our pass, they can make sure that we are the correct people. I would definitely just say do it like that because that was so easy.
You do have to be careful because we read online that you can queue for like an hour if you come like earlier in the morning because it can get really busy.
Got to the checkpoint. Hello.
So your pass, 1 day pass, yeah.
Thank you. Right, we've just got into the site and we just stopped to try and figure out where we want to go first. Stopped on the side of the road, turned the bike off for a moment, just tried to turn the bike back on and it won't turn on. There's a little like amber engine light appearing. Not sure whether there's possibly a problem with the engine. Okay, Jacob's going to ask a guy if he can help us. The guy's having a look. I think if he can't get it to work, then we're going to have to ring the guy who rented it to us. This could significantly impact on our day.
Oh.
Okay, I think it's working. Something to do with the parking brake thing. But whatever it is, it does seem to be working now. Thank goodness. Right, disaster averted.
You say that? What? He's in my glasses.
The bike appears to be working now.
It's supposed to be each time we now get on it, we're going to have to manually start it, which is fun.
But we are here. We are venturing into our first temple. Now, before we go into the first temple, I just want to point out that the tickets cost us $37 each. Now, that is a lot more than Jacob and I would normally spend on an activity. And last time we came to Cambodia, we didn't actually do Angkor Wat because we didn't feel we could justify it at the time. But we've come back and we thought, let's just do it. Jacob's been here before, but I'm really intrigued to know whether it is worth the $37.
I think you will be surprised. In my eyes, because I've been here before, when we come last time, you just look at all the different temples and stuff and you're just like, wow.
Jacob has told me that I'm going to absolutely love it. I really hope that is the case, and I hope that by the end of the day that I feel it was worth it. Oh, I didn't realise there'd be a load of shops here as well. Is that why you said I'd love it? Because there's actually shops. So we are starting off at the Kravan temple, which says it's from the early 10th century. I feel like I've never seen anything say 10th century before. That's very, very
almost
old,
as
isn't
old
it?
as you. And even though this is like one of the smaller temples, when you think of it as in they built it in the 10th century, to build something like this, which is so big and so detailed and everything, you know, that's what makes it so impressive.
I feel like it's kind of risky though, because I feel like so many people could like vandalise this stuff, and I guess if you've paid like $37, you probably wouldn't be the sort of person to vandalise. I wonder what these rooms were used for though. So you can't get inside this one, but if you look in, there's loads of carvings all on the walls. I'm guessing one of the gods.
Maybe it's Vishnu or something. I know that basically with Angkor Wat, it used to be a Hindu temple before it got reclaimed under Buddhism, so it could be a Hindu god.
So we just stopped at the next stop off. Just realised that there's actually a primary school within the grounds of Angkor Wat. Really, really strange. Didn't imagine that would be the case. Crazy to think that there's a school in here. We've just seen loads of kids come out on their bicycles, obviously like riding home for lunch or whatever. Not what I was expecting at all. So next stop, we're at Banti Kadai Temple from the late 12th century.
You can hear and see a bit of music up ahead.
Oh, cute.
Gonna get hot left here.
Oh, that's really nice music.
Yeah.
Just to note that ladies have to cover their shoulders and have to cover their knees. Men don't have to do anything, apparently. I don't know if you have to cover your shoulders, maybe.
I think in general, like, you cover your shoulders anywhere because it's just like respectful, isn't it?
This is so pretty. All the trees kind of arching around the temple in the background it looks like something out of a Hans Christian Andersen book. Like, it looks like something out of like a fairy tale. Some of these ruins look so like precarious. I feel like if you were to just like be like, whoop, it's just gonna all come tumbling down. It's like a dodgy game of Jenga.
The fact that they've got scaffolding around them says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just love how even the pillars, they all have these like engravings which have lasted this long. And there was probably so much more detailing that they'd have on them.
Yeah, they're so weathered, aren't they?
Yeah.
Looks a bit like Lion King. Simba.
Oh, look at those pillars. They're being held up by a lot of scaffolding there.
Oh look, it obviously has come tumbling down here. Look, there's all rocks in the middle. That shows I was right. The Jenga pile does fall.
I can't believe you're comparing these to Jenga.
That looks so dodgy. You do not want to be inside there. Look at how crooked it looks.
It's just a big old gap, isn't there?
I honestly think you could like touch that slightly and it would all come tumbling down.
Okay, so we've come out of the last temple we were in,
And just across the road, there is this big old body of water with a little, like, pagoda looking thing at the end of it.
So we've just come to the next stop off and I actually cannot get over how big this site is. I'm starting to understand a bit more now why it's so much money, because obviously you're not just paying to see the Angkor Wat temple, you're paying to access this site with loads of temples. There's like loads of restaurants, there's loads of street stalls with like drinks and snacks and things. I think I had it in my head that it was literally just going to be that you walk in and there's Angkor Wat in the middle of it and maybe a few other little temples, but we just typed in one of the temples and it's a 33-minute ride away. So this site must be absolutely massive for one of the temples to be 33 minutes away on bike.
when we were like talking about, obviously when we were saying, oh, the $37 is a lot of money, it is a lot of money, but obviously when you take into consideration how old the buildings are, how many of them are, and how big the site is, like the cost of preservation must be so much. It's obviously why the ticket prices are so high. We've gone for a good old iced lemon tea. On days like today, these are perfect. That's really sour. So we've now arrived at Ta Prohm Temple, which is one of the more famous temples, mainly so because it's actually been featured in one of the Lara Croft movies.
Oh, that's cool.
I think Angelina Jolie has quite a connection with Cambodia. I think she's adopted a few Cambodian children and stuff over time, but basically when she was filming here, she kind of got a good connection, and then ever since like loves Cambodia.
Oh.
Fun little fact.
So the last time I was here, I don't actually remember this platforming being here.
Maybe they've had to build it to make it a bit safer or something.
Or I might have come in from the other entrance.
So it looks like this used to be like a moat almost.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these places, if you look at Google Maps, it shows there's water going around them, doesn't it? Obviously they're all dried up now, so maybe what once used to be a moat is now just gone.
Oh wow. Well, that's very impressive. I love how symmetrical it is.
Yeah, it's quite aesthetically pleasing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Looking at it, you can see all like the little temple towers are all in nice symmetry. What I'd love to know, if you look here, there are tons of blocks. I would love to know what was here before, which has now been destroyed. Because obviously something big must have been. Oh,
You can see it's come away there and there. So I'm
Maybe it
assuming
was-
there was like another tower here or something.
or like just a covered walkway.
But it's like, what caused that to suddenly all go one day? I'd so laugh if you'd got stuck in there.
Oh no.
Can you imagine being a kid just exploring all around here? It is like a complete adventure playground. Right, so we've made it round to the front of the temple now, and supposedly this is the way we should be going through it. Oh wow, the tree is like coming up out of the temple, it looks like. How does that work? Oh, we're actually inside now.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. I feel like this is the first one where we've been able to actually walk round inside.
Mm.
The other ones have been more like little like corridor bits.
You're saying about the tree growing out the temple.
What?
It's cool, isn't it?
I don't understand. I don't understand what's happened. How does that work? Is it real? Is it not real?
It is. Yeah. Of course it's real. How are you going to plant a fake tree?
Yeah, but what was there first?
I don't know.
What came first?
The building of the
or
tree.
temple?
It must have been the temple, and then the tree must have grown through it.
Okay, you can kind of see the roots going down into the floor. My brain is just not
Yeah.
comprehending this right now.
It's kind of mad that a tree can grow that tall whilst it's not kind of fully rooted in the ground.
And it's still like flowering at the end, so it
Yeah.
must be alive. It must be getting some kind of substance from its roots.
Mm. It's so beautiful though, isn't it? I feel like we're just getting more and more lost in this temple. I don't even remember seeing this much of it when I come last time. It just seems like we keep coming out into new little courtyards and stuff full of other little temples.
It's just crazy, like how much of it is in ruins and then how much of it has kind of survived that. It's almost like in lots of different stages of ruin. So there's like the rocks and the bricks of a completely ruined temple. Then there's ones that look like a tiny little push will make them fall down.
Yeah.
And then there's ones that look in a really good state of repair. So we are at Pre-Rup temple now. Oh, so this one is like one that goes up.
Climb it. So for people who say like, oh, once you've seen one temple, you've seen them all, especially in this complex, it's just not that. There's just so many different temples with so many different things to them.
This one reminds me of one of the ones when we went to,
Ayutthaya in Thailand.
yeah, in terms of like the fact that you can climb up it and sit up on the steps and stuff.
They are some big old steps, aren't they? That comes up to like your knees.
I need like a handrail or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Ah. That was a climb. You smashed that though, to be fair. Look at the views from up here though.
Right, we've made it up and then back down the other side. Just about. That was a bit crazy, walking up and down those massive steps. From this angle, it almost feels like it's not real. Almost feels like I'm on a movie set. I think against the sky as well, because the sky is so blue. I don't know, it's such a weird... When you look at it like this and you can't see any people, yeah, it feels like just unreal.
I think that's the beauty of it as well though, and I think I would have loved to have seen what these would have looked like back in the day when they were in their prime, when they weren't weathered and they were like pristine. It must have been like beautiful, mustn't it?
But there's something really nice about looking at them like this, that they're not quite perfect, all a bit yeah, like wonky and looking like they could fall over at any second. There's something really pretty about that almost.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a charm to it, hasn't it?
Right, so we've stopped off at the lake that we were at earlier just to grab a bit of food because we are hungry. We've gone for some noodles with pork. I think it goes without saying that obviously being in like a touristy site, it's always going to be a bit more expensive. So this was actually $4.50, which is absurd for some instant noodles and pork, really.
Okay, so next stop is Neak Pan Lake.
Have we got to cross the lake in order to get to the temple?
I'm not actually entirely sure. We didn't come here the last time I come.
Oh, did you not?
But
oh, that's nice then. It's like first time for you as well.
this is beautiful though.
Oh my goodness, look at that lake. Oh, it's so picturesque.
I love that all the trees are like jutting out of the water.
We're really close to the water, aren't we?
Oh, there's all pond skimmers.
This is crazy. It's just like, I don't know, it's not something out of a film. I think it's just the fact it's so close to the water. There's something really kind of serene about it. Oh, look at all these trees, the way they've all
Oh yeah, all the roots.
grown really intertwined with one another.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, it's like a little baby temple here.
I wonder what this was for though, like whether it was to do with like a water god or something.
I don't understand how they got to it. I'm assuming on a little boat.
Unless it was man-made and they made all of this and then filled it up with water afterwards.
Oh, well, that was a nice little temple. It's a bit out of the way in comparison to some of the others, but it's definitely worth a visit. And what I'd like to know is if this bridge wasn't here, how did they get to the temple before? Did they just have to use a boat?
I like the fact that it's on this water though, because it was a very cool walk to and from. Oh, look at this one coming through the trees.
I know, it's like emerging out of nowhere, which is nice.
It looks a lot lighter than the others against the green trees.
This temple is only a few minutes down the road by bike from the lake, which is quite convenient, and it's called Pasat Priya Khan Temple.
We've just loaded up on water. Got this for $1 from one of the street side stalls, which I actually think is quite a good deal. We were worried that they were going to try and overcharge us, but I think for a big old bottle, happy with that. We brought loads of bottles with us, but we drank them very quickly.
Oh, so it's got the... We've seen these around Cambodia quite a lot, where it's a big line of like statues and they're like pulling this like naga, I think it is.
Some of their heads have gone.
Yeah, like some of them are deformed and then some of them have just gone completely. Some of them don't even have an upper body.
That one looks like the head's been put back on it, but it could be someone else's head.
A good hobby of ours though is to not pay for a tour guide and then just listen to what the tour guides are saying as we walk around, because you just overhear what they say normally. I mean, if it's in English, then yeah, you can get some little chunks of info from them.
I like this one because I feel like there's not as many people here.
It's a bit of a quaint... Oh, you're right.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's quite a quaint temple. There doesn't seem to be too many people here, which is nice. Oh, the carvings up there.
It's crazy how deceiving it is though. Like you see it from the front and you're like, oh yeah, it looks like this one's in a good state of repair. And then behind you find all these like massive rocks. Is that okay?
Maybe not
Wonder
so
what it
much.
was like before.
Imagine getting crushed under these.
That's the thing. Do you think if it started going, you'd have time to get out?
No, surely not. If it just crumbled, it would just be death. Oh wow, look at this. All the stones that have fallen down. You can see that even looks like it's going to crumble on top of you, doesn't it?
I think you would hear it, like start to rumble.
What,
and
like
then
in
you'd
Indiana
run.
Jones?
I've not seen that, but I can imagine. And then you'd run, wouldn't you?
Like it'd be an earthquake, like... So nice in here. This thing's massive. It goes all the way down there. You can actually see there's loads of people down there. Not so quaint anymore, but...
Yeah. We're nearly at the next one. This one is huge. So we've just arrived at the Bayon temple. This is probably the biggest one we've seen.
Height-wise, yeah, I think. Do you
Oh,
mean?
it looks very wide as well.
To be fair, yeah, it does actually. I think it's the coolest looking one. There's so many of the towers on.
Yeah, and there's all like faces in them and stuff. Look at that one right up ahead. Very like gothic, this one.
So an interesting fact about this temple is that there are actually 54 towers altogether and 216 faces. I mean, quick maths, I think that's 4 faces per tower.
There's such beautiful carvings on these walls. I'd just love to know what they're meant to depict. It's difficult to tell because of the markings on the stone. Oh, it's a bit dark in here, isn't it? Ah, so I remember last time we come here, you could actually get up onto the terrace by these steps, but it says that it's been closed from the 1st of January 2020 for conservation and restoration. That sucks. I was looking forward to it because I really liked going up there last time.
We've had a little wander around the Bayon temple. Yeah, it is a real shame that you can't actually go onto the 3rd floor terrace. It's so nice up there. Maybe one day if we come back we'll be able to see that. So we've got about an hour left until the park actually closes.
And you might have figured out that we actually are leaving Angkor Wat until last because we're hoping to see the sunset from Angkor Wat.
So we've arrived at Angkor Wat. I love this bit though because it's so like well kept. Oh, this looks beautiful. This looks amazing. This can't have been built recently, this stone bit, because the last time we come we walked over the old plastic bridge, the floating bridge, so it was probably under renovation. Now it's in a bit of a better state to walk across.
It almost feels like we're going towards like a hotel.
Yeah,
You know,
I
like
get what you mean.
on a lake, and then you're going towards some massive resort. And obviously it's a temple, and obviously it wouldn't resemble a hotel, but there's something about it in terms of like the symmetry, the pillars.
It looks very nice and like
Pretty.
yeah,
I think the trees as well kind of make it seem like...
give it some holiday vibes.
Yeah, exactly. Oh wow, so that was just the beginning.
Yeah, that was just the gate.
That was just the gate to get in.
Even though I've been here before, it still kind of like blows my mind when you look at it and you look at the scenery.
Just how grand the whole place is, and the fact that this is on a body of water,
Oh,
like we're
yeah.
surrounded by water, it's just amazing.
It looks like a golf course. Like the greenery.
Yeah.
Like those people, if they had like a golf bag, they just wouldn't look at our place.
I mean, we've already come from all the way back there, walked a good few hundred metres, and we're still not at the temple yet.
Yeah, there's a reason why Angkor Wat is obviously the largest temple in the world, and it's actually also considered to be one of the wonders of the world. I think it's one of the wonders of the modern world.
Now we're in the main grounds. This temple is massive. Ooh, so it's suddenly got a lot busier around here. I'm assuming this is, yeah, this is where you can climb up.
Alright, so it's bang on 5 o'clock, and this is actually when this top bit is meant to close. Thankfully, the lady let me through, which is nice, but these steps are so steep. Not enjoying this climb. I don't blame Emma for staying down there.
God, look at the views. Ah, okay.
I didn't get much of a look.
Basically, as I got to the top, there was a guy going around saying, "Oh no, it's closed." So I literally got up, took like 2 shots, and then had to leave.
Could you not have like begged him?
No, he seemed pretty serious.
Oh, that's a shame.
So now that it's gone 5, the temple is practically empty.
It's really weird being here with like no one here. Kind of like creepy, but really nice at the same time.
Yeah, it's really nice to have like the whole place to ourselves, in a sense.
There was a massive group that have just left, but now it's eerily quiet. Oh wow, look. This is what we wanted.
Yeah,
The sun's setting over it.
it's beautiful, isn't it?
The colour of the temple, but then the contrast against the green of the grass, and then the blue sky. It's like perfect.
I love the silhouette the temples make. You can really see all the like definition in how they're sculpted.
Again, it just feels so unreal.
Right, so I think that's it. I think we're gonna finish off watching the sunset and then head back home. What did you actually think of it? Did you think it was worth it?
I do think $37 is a lot, but it has been a jam-packed day and we've seen so much and experienced so much. So I guess the fact that you're paying $37 for a whole day is not too much. We did see online that there was a price increase in 2017. It went from $20 up to $37. And I think actually somewhere in between that, I think I would see as like a good price. I just think when you're traveling, you're always on a budget, aren't you? You're always trying to find ways that you can save money and stuff. So it is a lot of money for people who are traveling. If you're on holiday, you know, you've got a job and everything, it's different. $37 would be an alright amount to pay. Was it worth it? I think so. I'm glad we did it. I've enjoyed it. And I think that if you come to Cambodia, you have to have this on your list. I think if you miss it, you're going to regret it. We didn't come last time and then we kept talking about it afterwards, and then we decided like, we're going to come back, we're going to do it this time. So I'm glad we've come back, I'm glad we've done it.
I've really enjoyed it. This is the second time that I've been, so I would recommend coming here as well. Like, it's been such a good day and we didn't even explore all of the sites. There's still more that we could have gone and seen, so.
Some people online said you need like 3 days to do it properly and properly get around it, and I can see why they say that. We didn't have that amount of time, and obviously the 3-day pass was a lot more expensive. Yeah, if you want to do it properly, you probably do need a few days, and I would say take a lot of rest stops, because we didn't. We literally fired through them all day. I don't think we drank enough water. I don't think we sat in the shade enough. I don't think we rested enough. So in order to sort of really enjoy it, I think it's probably better to do it slower.
You can also get tuk-tuk drivers to take you around for the day. Obviously, we decided to bike it, and I much prefer that. There's not someone waiting on you to kind of be done with the temple and stuff. It's been a good little end to our Siem Reap trip, hasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.